Halloween is coming up, right? And with the costumes and with the candy and with the parties, Halloween can be a minefield when it comes to expectations and limits.
Decorations.
Decorations, didn't even think of that. Gail Bell is here, one of our regular parenting experts, to help us work through this. And you said, Ted, this is super duper important because this is a great chance for parents to take control back.
Yeah, or responsibility back.
Ownership of it.
Ownership
Let's use
of
that
it.
word.
I like that word a lot, actually, and that was one of our key words for our company last year, is own it.
Yeah.
Because we get calls from clients and people, and they say, it's crazy. Do you know how many parties we're expected to go to? And, oh, it's ridiculous how much candy our kids get. It's like,
Yeah.
And I'm pretty blunt, hoping I do my job well, and I go, okay, well, let's move back here.
Sure.
So listen to what you're saying, and who makes the decision about what's right for your family.
Exactly.
And you've got to slide in there. Your job is not to make your children happy. So you think a generation ago, none of this happened.
No.
This is all a big marketing
We
thing.
had one evening.
Oh, Halloween
We had
Eve.
nothing in school, and we had the one night, and you wore a costume that was always a hand-me-down or something you cobbled together
Or
yourself.
made with your parents.
Or made with your parents.
Or made yourself
Exactly,
and dug around. And so it's a big fancy costumes. I mean, you look at some of the yards, and if you enjoy doing that, great. But then be very careful, because your children are learning from your words and how you're modeling.
you're
So if
modeling
it's
it,
really important for you to put the big stuff up and you love it, great.
Yeah.
But don't have guilt about it. Do you know how much money we spent on Halloween? This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, step back and say, what is important for our family? And if it's always a big fight about candy, well, then why are you going to 6 parties? Or if it's a stress on your family because you have a party Saturday, Sunday, and then Halloween's Monday, make a choice as a family.
Okay, and the conversation should probably be happening right now.
Exactly.
2
That's
weeks out
that's
from
why
when
we're
it's
talking.
happening, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's for sure.
Okay, so that's kind of dealing with parties. When it comes to candy and modeling, if I understand you correctly, you're saying that, as parents, we should also be getting just a smaller amount of treats to hand out.
Definitely.
That's what you're saying. If we want our kids to not take in as much, we shouldn't give out as much, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So again, you have to look at the adult's behavior, because some people have gone to giving out the big chocolate bars.
Sure.
So why?
I know, right?
Why?
I know. My kids love it.
Yeah,
Of
but
course
then
they love it.
so it's really about the enjoyment of walking around with friends and your parents for an hour or two, being together, talking,
looking silly or all dressed up,
having fun, and getting some candy.
How do you have the conversation about costumes? Because some of the costumes can be either inappropriate scary or inappropriate revealing. You know what I mean? Too sexualized, that type of thing.
Oh, for sure. And a client talked to me just about that very thing yesterday. She said, you should see what the little girls are wearing.
I know, right?
Right. So again, we don't want to judge. We don't want to get into that point. We want to come back and say, in our family, this is appropriate, this is not appropriate, and this is why. Here are 4 to 6 choices of what we can do. Not, you can't wear that, you can't do that. Here's what we do as a family.
Sure, that's fair. And I think the key is having the conversation now, not in the heat of the moment, right?
No, exactly.
That's probably the worst time to do it.
That's right. And then you get home from trick-or-treating, it's like, hurry up, get to bed, do you know how tired you're going to be?
And the kids are super pumped and excited.
Super pumped. So, look at the day. So we're going to eat by 6:30. We're going to be out. It is a school night.
So you gotta be home by,
it's not just about us. We've got to respect that your teachers have to teach you tomorrow, and then you need to have a discussion about the candy.
Does that also play into what you put in their lunches for the next day? Speaking of teachers,
yes.
Because if they're all sugared up during the day, good luck sitting in your seat.
Yes,
right?
and it's an opportunity to say you should be looking at what you're putting in their lunch every day, because there's a ton of sugar in everything.
True enough. All right, good stuff. Thank you, Gail. Andy, there you go. We got to have the conversation early, and we got to have the clear expectations outlined as to what our family does.
Yeah, probably not after the 6th house of trick-or-treating and the kids are all amped up. That's a good plan to plan ahead.